What's up, guys? So welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. So yeah, a new trading week is about to start, and I'm here to share with you my directional bias on Euro USD, and then if there is enough time, we'll look at GBP USD. Okay, so please before we step onto the chart, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications as well. Okay, I also appreciate a like and a comment on these videos. Okay, so yeah, without wasting much time, let's step onto the chart. Let's begin with like a clean sheet over here. All right, so I'm going to start with Euro USD. Okay, and I'm going to start from the daily time frame. Okay, I'm going to start from the daily time frame. Very simple. So here on the daily time frame, I just want you to see this. We have this beautiful break or structure to the downside over here. Okay, and then it means that we are looking at this like a high that created this low. Okay, but then within this swing leg here, we also have this internal 1 2 3 move over here. Okay, and if you watch in here, we had price taking out this guy and taking out this guy and even this guy at the same time, which means that this area in here will be like a how do you call it, a point of interest. You're gonna have this as a point of interest. Okay, and as you can see, price has tapped into this. Okay, apart from that also, I mean, let's say you are looking at this point of interest in here, rather in here we have a very huge imbalance, and from all what I know, imbalances also act as great point of interest. So either ways, price is still reacting from a very important area that you should pay attention to. Okay, so I can now step onto H4 time frame and look at what price is doing on H4. So on H4, this is what I can see personally. I can see price internally, we are making like a high that created a low, and then we have this last one that made a push to the top. Okay, so it means I'm going to be dealing inside this low that created this high. Okay, now as I've seen this, it means that I'm going to have like a point of interest here. This is going to act as an obstacle. When I say obstacle, what I mean is, for instance, if price decides to drop, okay, we can have this area probably giving a little reaction. If it decides to hold for the buys, we can just push to the top, or better still, we can have price, let's say, coming in there, giving a little reaction, and then we continue to the downside. Okay, that's what can happen. So that is what I call an obstacle. Now, having done this, I can now step onto intraday time frames and look at what price is saying. As simple as that. You don't need to stress yourself with so many things. No. Okay, daily we are bearish, internal structure, we have a high that created a low, we've broken structure to the downside. Inside here, we are having price making high, low, high. This is the last point. Just play inside this leg until this PUI is broken or until this high is taken. That is if price wants to go and take the high. Okay, so it is on intraday time frames that we're going to see if price will actually come for this high or not. So I'm going to step onto M15. That is my intraday time frame. Okay, so right on my intraday time frame, it means I have to start dealing with this internal structures inside this leg. Okay, so let me pull this back a little like this, and let's look at this real quick. So right in here, I'm seeing this was the last high that created a low, and this guy was taken out right here. Okay, so we had that change of intent, I think so. Change of intent, yeah, change of intent right in there. So right in here, what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna have this low that created this high, this low that created this high. Very simple. Okay, if you have doubts, we have this low to this high giving us a 89 pips, and then we also have this low over here to this high giving us 87 pips, close, just 2 pips shy. So it means that this guy was a point of interest. Okay, but I personally was looking for price to take out that point of interest, and the reason was because we had equal lows sitting there. So that was equal lows, like liquidity. So just show that liquidity. Okay, so because of that, I mark this as SMT. If I take you to like my original charts, you're gonna see that. Okay, so let me show you real quick. So let's go to forex.com, and that is my real chart, you realize that I had marked it as an SMT. Where is it? So you see that I marked it as an SMT. That is why I was expecting price to take it out, and you can see that we worked it nicely. So let's go back to FXCM. So that was an SMT, and just like I said, we have taken it out. We had price waking it nicely, boom, like that. So liquidity has been taken, okay. But this, is it a break of structure, or it is a, how do you call it, a liquidity grab? It was done with a wick and it had equal lows, so I would consider this as a liquidity grab, okay. Apart from that, also, in case we want to treat it as a break of structure, how are we going to treat it? It means that we're going to see this as like a BOS, and we are going to mark this point of interest over here. That is why I was selling last Friday, okay. So I took a lot of sales last Friday. So if you extend it, you can see price came right into that 15-minute point of interest again. In my previous video that I dropped about the Asian session liquidity stuff, I mentioned that if you feel that this is mitigation, you are not serious in life. A lot of people were just laughing. They thought I was joking. I'm not joking. If you feel like this is mitigation, you are not serious in life. Again, I'm repeating myself. You are not serious in life. True mitigations always happen on the second phase. So we have this push to the downside as phase 1 after breaking structure. We push up like this. This is the second phase. This is where the true mitigation is supposed to happen. So this is the mitigation of this point of interest, okay, not this. Okay, I think I'll find time and talk about mitigation proper, okay. So in here, what has happened? We've had price tap into this point of interest nicely. Personally, I still have some sales running, okay, but let's try to see what is happening in here. So we tap in there, which means that ideally we should be expecting like a drop to the downside. That is what the intraday is trying to say, okay. But I'm seeing something that I need to pay attention to. So if you watch in here, we have this last high that created this low, and then we broke structure over here. This made a shallow retracement. I don't care those who say 50% what's retracement or whatsoever. I'm not concerned about that one. A retracement is a retracement. You just have to understand that we can have a deeper retracement or a shallow retracement. They are all valid, okay. So this is a clean break of structure internally, okay, internal structure like break, and then we have this last low which created this last high, which means this guy over here is an important area to watch here, this one. And you can see that is where price tapped in, okay, price tapped in there. And this is also telling another story. So intraday, we're looking forward to drop. That is why I'm still holding my sales. Personally, I was looking forward to drop, so I took some sales over here. I took the last one here, okay, and I'm looking forward to tank to the downside, okay. But this guy over here is also acting as an obstacle. So sometimes you have to open your eyes and try to understand what the market is trying to say, okay. You don't just jump into trades. So to me, I am still with the sales. Personally, I'm still with the sales, even though I understand that this guy can give us like a reaction to push to the top where we're gonna have like this high induced, okay, before any drop can happen. It is also valid, okay. So we can have a situation like that where price like will just push to the top, take out this high. This will be like previous week's high, if I'm not wrong. I think so, yeah, previous week's high. So when the previous week's high is induced, then we can now look for it to come down. Now when we are coming down, we can still drop. First confluence is we are coming from a higher time frame point of interest, like I said, from the higher time frame. Apart from that, also it means that this guy over here is going to be like a point of interest of the intraday. But the funny thing is, if you look at this and this, it looks like liquidity again. So if price is dropping, it will have every reason to just tank to the downside, okay, and go and break structure to the downside. Do you get me? So that's the first thing that you should expect. The fact that even though intraday is bearish, but I see this as a liquidity grab of this like equal lows, and internally we have this like a obstacle over here which can actually give like a reaction. We can even have price like maybe inducing this last low, because that is Friday's low. So inducing the lows and then pushing up to take out the high, this one, okay, and then going ahead to even maybe take out this one, okay, before dropping, or we may not necessarily go and take out this one. Maybe we just induce this low, induce this high, and then we drop. That one can also happen. Okay, so these are the possible scenarios that you can have. Okay, or better still, we can wait for price to do something like this, break this, pull back, then we can look for a drop, okay, to the downside. Okay, so these are the possible scenarios. I'm going over once more. Intraday, we are bearish. We've tapped into this. We've had like a confirmation over here, but within this internal structure, we have this obstacle over here. Okay, and the reason why I'm considering this obstacle is this low over here. Even though we broke the last intraday point, the last intraday point had liquidity sitting below, and it was taken out by a wick. So we treat this as a liquidity grab, which means that if it is a liquidity grab, then price has the tendency to continue higher to take out this guy before dropping. That is the first one. Okay, so we can have this internal obstacle over here respecting, and then price will just go take it out before we drop. Now when it takes it out like this and we get like an opportunity to sell, you just have to understand that this guy over here has become our new point of interest. But is it fortunately or unfortunately, I don't even know which one to use, but right in here we can see equal lows built over here as well. So if this guy is coming down, it has every reason to drop. The first reason is we are reacting from a higher time frame point of interest, which is stronger than this intraday point of interest. Second reason is we have equal lows over here. Third reason is we are bearish on the daily structure. You understand? So price will have every reason to drop if it decides to like take out the previous weekly high before the drop. Okay, the second scenario is price may not necessarily go and take out the high, but then just as the intraday has broken structure with the wick over here, we can have price coming down like that, okay, and continuing the move to the downside. Okay, in this case what I'm trying to say is that we can have price, let's say, breaking this. Okay, scenario one, we can break this, we trace a little bit, and then we drop. That is one. Two, we can have price just dropping like that without any retracement. I mean, we just continue to the downside. But I'll be very much happy if, like, let's say we induce this Friday's high, then we begin to drop. Okay, maybe price will create something nice, maybe like we create something like this, which will also form like a equal lows over here. We induce the high still inside this point of interest without taking the previous weekly high, and then we can drop to the downside. So that'll be my view on Euro USD. Okay, so either high taking, sell, okay, or this high taking, sell, okay, or maybe we break this one more time, and then maybe we can now look forward for price to come back into this point of interest, then we can now sell. Simple scenarios. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. Probably there'll be something in there. So on GU, let me see, GBP USD, let's come here, see, got some markups over there. So let's use forex.com. so let me clean everything. Now the same thing, GBP USD, start from H4 daily, wherever you want to start from. Okay, so this is what I was looking at on GBP USD. I'm going to show you something real quick. So in here we had this last low which created a high. The funny thing is this low has been taken out with a wick nicely. This is a clean break of structure. Okay, we have this clean break, it also forms liquidity over here. So we have that clean break anyway, but then point of interest, so we have this high that created a low. So look for your point of interest after the break of structure. We are looking at this guy again. If you think that this point of interest has been mitigated by this or by this, you are not serious in life. Okay, true mitigations always will happen on the second phase. So this was what I was thinking. I think last Friday, yes, I was actually expecting price to like make a push into this guy before dropping. Okay, but I mean, price is price. Price can just decide to react from this indecision candle over there and just drop. okay, without retracing to but it would have been very, very solid if price like retraced into this H4 point of interest before anything comes, you understand? But I don't control price. Price is not for my father. So we've established this. Let's move on to intraday. Very, very simple. So intraday, what are we having? Okay, so on the intraday side of things, we had this last low that created a high, taking out this one, also taking out somewhere in here, and then my last one I think will be here, taking out. Okay, if whether you decide to choose this one, let me show you, whether this one or this one, it is still a break or structure. Okay, as simple as that. So I will go with this because that was where I was looking forward to like take any sell from there, but nothing was presented. So that's my guy over there. Okay, and we can look at what this internal structure is saying. What is the internal structure saying? It's the same. It looks like EU, the same story. We have this low that created a high, and then we have this low that created this high. Okay, I'm not here to explain anything again. Very, very simple. You can see, very, very simple. So it means that this guy was like a point of interest. That was why I bought from here again. If you watch my chart from here, that was why I bought this guy. Okay, you can see I took the first L. I even forgot it was landing close, and I took the first L before the real buys for like 1:12. So if you're watching there, this guy over here is a very important point of interest that we can mark. Okay, so I was actually expecting price to like push and then go and take out this high, but there was also something that I saw inside here that made me change my mind, and I also started selling to the downside again. So I felt like now we are not going to like maybe break to the top, we're just gonna drop like that. But again, I don't control price, I just react according to what price is saying. Okay, so the reason why I did that was, if you're watching here, we are having this like internal structures, high, low, high, low, high, and then we broke this. You get what I'm trying to say? So I saw this, I was like, let me just get this clean reaction again. I'm repeating myself. I think by now you should understand what I'm trying to put across when I say true mitigations happen on the second phase. The same thing again. If you feel that this guy over here has been mitigated by this or by this, you are not serious in life. Break or structure, this is the true mitigation. Okay, this is the true mitigation. I've repeated this so many times, so I'm pretty much sure that you guys will have a fair idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so in here I had a sell. From here I'm still holding some partials. I'm expecting price to like continue to the downside. Now if price decides to come down, okay, I will not conclude that this guy should just go and break like that. No, I will not conclude like that, because there is nothing here that is acting as confluence for this POI to break. There is nothing like that. We don't have any equal lows sitting here. No, we don't have anything like that. So I'm just going to react. Now this is the first scenario that I can expect from price. That is, if price decides to like make a little push to the downside, I can expect price to make a complex pullback. When I say a complex pullback, I can expect price to do this, take out this low, then we cannot push. Now when we are coming, we are likely to take out this and probably tap into this higher time frame POI that we mark from H4 properly. Then we can now drop to the downside. And when this happens, let's say price retraces like this, you're gonna have this wick and this low over here creating like equal lows, which will be extra confluence for price to just sweep liquidity, drop to the downside. As simple as that. You see, now another thing is this, we may not even have price like doing that complex pullback, blah blah blah. No, you can just have price going all the way to the downside, breaking, take out this low, come up again once more, okay, and then we drop. Okay, but I will actually prefer price to clear this guy, push up, okay, take out this high into this point of interest, then I can start looking for sales. I'll be happy if I see that, but apart from that, anything that price does, I will just have my eyes on. Okay, so that is what I will also be looking at on GBPUSD. In fact, we can even have a situation where price will not retrace to the downside. No, it will just maybe open, take out the high, Okay, tap into the POI, then we can now start dropping. As simple as that. Okay, so we can have a scenario also like that. Okay, so you just have to watch. Okay, so have your eyes on this high, see how price reacts to it, and then have your eyes on this point of interest over here, see how price reacts to it. But the truth is, the moment this guy breaks, okay, it's gonna be like a drop to the downside, like a huge drop to the downside. I hope you can see what the H4 is saying. Like, if you look at this, if price decides to like drop like this, do this confirmation and drop to the downside, it's gonna drop to this low. Even if we tap into this and we start dropping, it's gonna be drop to this low, just like Euro USD. Okay, if you go to Euro USD on higher time frames, you're going to see the same thing. It's also coming from a higher time frame. Like I said, if we go to induce the weekly high, like the GU1, we are dropping. Equal lows over here, forget about everything, we are dropping. As simple as that. And we're going to drop to this, especially when this low is taken out. You're just going to drop all the way to the downside. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at on Euro USD and GBP USD. Very simple. You don't need to stress yourself that much. Okay, so I hope you found value in this video. Please, if you did, give this video a thumbs up. You can see the time I'm recording this video, 4 a.m. I've not even slept for the sake of you guys. That is why I'm doing this. Okay, so yeah, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section for me. I will really appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. Okay, so yeah, see you within the week. Have a blessed week, have a peaceful week, make a lot of money. Okay, yeah, stay safe. Bye bye.